8:32 on the clock on the dot. I'm on my laptop giving a tea. Doo-doo. Just woke up. I got a real. What is this? What can I call this, y'all? The story is definitely fake, fugazi, phony, made up, a fairy tale, a figment of everybody's imagination. But what do you call it when you feel like everybody was in on this? Um, everybody. I feel like everybody was in on this. So what do you call that? Accomplices? Anyway, so pull up, anticipating a good read. I won't keep you waiting. I got plans to spill this tea in places y'all never seen. Girl, you know what I mean. Anyway, girl, that's y'all song. Y'all already know what to do. Go on ahead and make sure to follow the social medias if you haven't already. Definitely the Twitter. Please continue to follow the Twitter. Okay, don't stop. All right, we at 700. I'm trying to get to 1,000. So if you have a Twitter, please make sure to follow the Twitter. Also the TikTok and the Snapchat as well. If you have any tea that you would like to send me and you don't have social media, email me at the channel email. And if you would like to donate to the channel, they go to handles. Do so if you're at your own leisure. So listen, y'all. Yesterday, not yesterday, the day before, whenever it was. I think it was Sunday. I talked about the story where everybody sent me about Chris and Monique filing for separation or whatever or whatever. So during the middle of all of that, I think it started around Sunday afternoon ish, maybe yesterday. A lot of people started sending me, and I was also seeing in the comments where people was talking about the story isn't true. Uh, Momo and Chris came out and debunked everything, and so and so and so and yada 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 and blah blah blah. And so Momo and Chris came out and basically shut down the rumors, I assume. But my whole thing is, why would People Magazine want to lie on y'all? Like, I just don't feel like y'all that important. And it's no shade. Cause y'all know I love Chris and Monique. I love Chris and Monique, but we just being honest around here. Like y'all are not at the top of RHOP totem pole. That I just feel like Magazine have to make up a lie about you and Chris don't getting a divorce. I mean, and it is no shade. And again, I don't want y'all to get a divorce. I don't want, I mean, separation. Because they never said divorce. They said separated. So, I don't want y'all to be separated. I'm glad that it's fake. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that it's fake. I'm glad that it's fake. I'm glad that it's phony. I'm glad that it's fugazi. I'm glad that it's all of that. But be clear, I do feel like all parties were involved in this sham to get all of us talking and waiting to see the second season of Love and Marriage DC. Because be clear, bitch, won't nobody really watching it like that. And it's no shade, but we are gonna be honest this morning. Won't nobody checking for DC like that. Won't nobody really watching or reviewing DC like that. Don't get me wrong. I personally wanted to support it because of Monique and Chris, but I didn't like it and I didn't like them on the show. I'm gonna be honest. And I just feel like a lot of people started to feel that way. And it's just real funny and fishy that now all of this is starting. Now people are going to want to see the season 2 of Love and Marriage DC to see how all of this got started. Where did this story come from? Why would people want to come up and make this a thing? Like, I see what's going on around there, but I'm going to let y'all have it. I'm gonna let y'all have it. You know what I'm saying? Because I love Momo and Chris. I really do. I love them. And I truly went round there to support it because they was on it. You understand? But I don't know if it was the other couples with them that I didn't like, or whether it was them on the show I didn't like, whether it was the network they was on that I didn't like. I don't know. It just didn't get me. like I wanted it to, because I wanted to support it. And I feel like, again, a lot of other people did, and they just won't check it for y'all like that. And then this story is making people want to go, whatever. So I'm about to let y'all listen to what Momo and Chris got to say. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. If y'all want to hear it, I'm gonna drop the link in the description where y'all could go to Monique's YouTube channel. Shout out to Monique and Tea with Monique, because I love Monique. All right, I love. I want to make that very clear. I love Monique. You understand me? I love her and Chris. So y'all go around there to Tea with Monique to watch the whole hour-long thing. I'm just gonna play the portion of where her and Chris got people all the way together for this storyline. So here you go. I mean, I mean for this story. So here you go.
Um, People Magazine ought to be ashamed of themselves. Uh, they created an article without any confirmation, without any statement from the married couple. They had the audacity to reach out to my publicist, and they said, "Hey, can we get a statement?" My publicist is like, "This isn't true." No. And they said, "Well, we're going to run with the story anyway." That's what they said. We're going to run with the story anyway, right? This is what you call unethical journalism. All right? They're supposed to be a credible source. And they said, we're going to run with the story anyway.
No fact check. None of that.
There's no legal filing. There's no divorce. Nobody hired any attorneys. None of that. And they said, we're going to run with the story anyway. Monique Samuels and Chris Samuels are going their separate ways. What does that sound like to y'all? So we appreciate all the love we get all the time for our family. We didn't get the courtesy, and we're still working on our own process. And, we've been doing a great job of working on us. And honestly, this whole bombardment of all of this nonsense, it didn't do anything but make us laugh, honestly. And I'm so glad that we're in such a good space where we could sit back and laugh at this shit. Like, seriously. Sorry, excuse my French. But it just felt like it just rolled off the tongue.
No, you're right.
I thought they were credible as well. And I stopped doing interviews with People Magazine after they just did the most. After that fight with Candace years ago, I did an interview with them, and they shredded my interview into pieces. They might as well have. Everything that we talked about on my interview call, they just simply did an article that was trying to back whatever the narrative was that they wanted to push for the season. And at that moment, I said, I will never, ever again do an interview with People Mag. And I have not since. Okay? So now y'all know. They don't even probably know that. I just turn them down every time they call. So it is what it is. They wanted to do an interview with me earlier this year for Love and Marriage DC. And I said, no. I said, no, thank you. So, and I did an interview with everybody else. And shout out to Entertainment Tonight. Shout out to Entertainment Tonight. Because they are one of the only outlets that I saw did not repost. And they actually waited and did an article today and explained that this is what was said. Here's Chris and Monique's response via a video. And they also shouted me out that we would be going live tonight to discuss everything that was going on. So shout out to Entertainment Tonight. Thank y'all for doing journalism the right way and actually fact checking. And thank you to all the outlets that thought People was a credible source and reposted it and then came back and said, hold on. Shout out to y'all too. Appreciate it. So yeah. So at the end of the day, my ring is still on my finger because we have not gotten to a point where we're like, you know what, we're done with each other. We have not crossed any of those roads of bridges. And if we did, that would be our business. That would be up to us. Chris don't never wear his darn ring anyway. So if y'all going off Chris ring, y'all gonna think we always separated. We always heading down to the divorce court. So listen. So let me talk about Ashley. Ashley and I went to lunch. She has gone through the whole separation, all of these different things. So of course we're checking in on each other. And I shared with Ashley some of the things that I was going through with Chris and where we were. And how honestly, I am very happy Like, I've not been this level of peace and happy in such a long time.
Same.
Chris and I have not been in this place where we could just sit with each other, laugh and joke. And at the end of the day, 2 days after my birthday, dick me down in the closet. Like, well, I mean, you did though, and it was good. So good after I went out to dinner with all of my LAMGC. Yo, then I drove all the way to Newburgh for the day.
Surprised me.
1 o'clock in the morning, got a speeding ticket and everything.
It was well needed now. It's been a minute.
Yo, yeah, we were struggling for a little bit. We were honestly. And it's crazy because when you're in marriage, sometimes you get to those points where you just don't see the end of the road. You just be like, yo, like, are we gonna really like make it through? Like, how are we gonna get through this? It seems so large of an issue that you don't know what's gonna happen next. But every step that we've been taking has been a step in a positive direction. And honestly, I love this man enough to either be with him, or if he ever decided, like, look, maybe this ain't what I want, I love him enough to just be like, all right, well, I want you to be happy. What about how you?
I feel the same way, but I ain't going nowhere. We're gonna work through this.
Yeah.
But I will say we're in a great place, and we haven't been in this place in a long time. After we made love, let me clean it up. I think I'm rubbing off on you.
We didn't make love. We was fucking.
Don't cheer on her, girl.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, feel man. Come on, man.
We was. It was necessary.
I mean,
it was necessary.
Yeah,
we went a couple
it
months.
Was backed up.
It was backed up.
But at the end of the day, I told Monique, I said I felt real good because I haven't been able to cuddle with her and hold her that way in a long time. The way she looked at me early that day, I said it felt like day one.
Yeah.
And it felt great. And I shared that with Monique. And we haven't had that in a minute. So this whole process of what we're doing, I'm basically working on myself. And this is something that Monique has been trying to get me to do for the longest. But for the long time, I was just like, ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm fine. And it wasn't until I went down to Florida and I went to this conference and it was other retired athletes in the room and they were speaking to us about your purpose and life and everything else. And they also spoke to us about remember who the F you are. And it was like you achieved something that most people can't achieve. The discipline, the hard work, everything from 4 years old up to make it to the NFL. You worked at it, you worked at it, you worked at it. Now that you're retired, wake up, find your purpose and your passion. And if you're not good at something, whether it's real estate you're trying to get into, some type of field, whatever, if you're poor in computer skills, go take a computer class. When you were 4 years old working on that football technique, you worked at it and you would run through a brick wall for it. So basically, it was like, remember who the F you are. And for the longest, I was just kind of floating through life in retirement and didn't understand why I wasn't passionate about anything. And it wasn't until they spoke to me and it hit me. Basically, the whole thing, my whole life I worked to play in the NFL, and I was so passionate about running out of that tunnel, playing in front of all of those people, the excitement of the game. And it wasn't until they spoke to me and it was like, remember who the F you are. Wake up, everything is already in you. Greatness is in you. And literally, it changed my whole outlook on life. I was a good dad. I feel like I was a good husband, but I wasn't passionate. I wasn't going above and beyond.
Right.
It was a lot of things that Monique kept telling me, Chris, create this, create that, date nights, do this, do that. Like, I'm doing all of the work.
Right. It felt like I was holding the weight of the marriage, the children,
I put way too much
the household. And when y'all saw me on Love and Marriage DC last season, I was at my wit's end. I was so tapped out. I was so just overwhelmed. And then when you're filming reality TV, add that into the mix. It was too much. And he just wasn't hearing me.
Right. So yeah. Let me finish. So basically, after I left that conference, literally changed my life, my attitude about life. I feel like it saved my life. When I talk to my kids, it's not just a quick yeah, in one ear and out the other. No, I'm in depth with the conversations. A lot of times when I would pray with my kids, when I put them to sleep, Lord, protect them, da-da-da-da. No, now I'm praying with passion over my kids. I'm praying for their future. I'm praying for, their spouses, their kids, leadership, protection, and everything else. I prayed with Monique, and I told Monique straight up, I'm going to be real with y'all. A lot of people came down on Monique about this last season. And it was some intense moments, some things I didn't like. I'll be honest with you, but it was the truth. And when I prayed with Monique, I said, Lord, thank you for a strong woman that held me down when I was asleep for 12 years. Literally, not
12
years.
slave.
And that was after I retired. 12 years. Stop it, girl. But no, seriously, I said, Lord, thank you. When God says he gives you a helpmate, he gave me the perfect helpmate. Because literally when I was in sleep mode, not passionate about anything, and I put a stamp on everything of what I provided, that wasn't what she wanted. She wanted me. She wanted vulnerability. She wanted me to talk to her in depth.
Intimate conversation.
Right. She wanted equal partnership, not the money. She wanted me to put input into the family. And I love my family. I love them the way I thought they should be loved. But at the end of the day, it wasn't until I went down to Florida, shout out to Caleb on it. Like Caleb literally set this whole thing up, and I won't give his whole story of why he set it all up. But I'm in a room with 20 other guys that felt like I felt, retired NFL guys, not passionate about anything because they didn't understand that it was all about football. Now,
All right, Chris. Anyway, girl, Chris got real long winded. Okay, he gave me quad. Like it was just long winded and long winded and long winded and long winded and long winded. Like Lord knows, Momo don't hardly shut the hell up at times. And then we see Chris do the same damn thing. Oh my God, no shade, Chris, but we don't want to hear it no more. We know that you went down to Florida, you and 20 other retirees from the NFL that felt the same way that you did, and y'all had to get up out the sunken place. Okay, Chris, I know. Damn. I love you, Chris and Momo. But yeah, y'all, anyway, out of all of that, the only thing that I really took away from that was I see why People Magazine called y'all about a story, and I see why they kind of ran off with it the way that they did. No shade, because from what it looks like to me, y'all still going through the same shit. I mean, he can't get a word in edgewise. She still won't shut the hell up. You know what I'm You know what I'm saying? She still got a ghetto fab project side to it. Y'all heard of what she said that he fucked her to smithereens. I mean, now listen, Momo, and I love listen, Chris is very handsome. You understand me? But I don't necessarily want to picture him with his clothes off. And I don't necessarily want to picture you up on that thing riding. You understand me? No shade to y'all. But I just don't want to know y'all in that realm. So I'm kind of on his side with that. Like, girl, have some cool. Okay, I understand that you on y'all channel. You understand me? But have some cool, girl. Child, you ain't had to let us know that you was getting smashed to smithereens, girl. You better. You understand me? I don't need to know all of that about Big Chris. You understand me? Just as long as his dick is big and girthy as his ass is, do your thing, mama. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I ain't about to be here before y'all longer. I still got to watch Married to Medicine. I ain't watched that yet. But yeah, y'all, that's really all I got. I ain't got no more to give you. Listen, they debunked it. They said it's all fake. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. The last. You understand me? It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. They say don't believe People Magazine. That People Magazine are big liars. They did this to her before, and damn it, they turned around and did it to her again. That's what Momo and Chris confirmed it. But it's still in all, in my opinion, I still feel like this was just all a scheme and a scam that all of y'all set up and came up with to come to us with the bullshit. That's how I feel. No tea, no shade. Because, like I say, it's so many people that's now about to tune into the second season of Love and Marriage DC, whereas really won't nobody check it for it like that. No shade. Won't nobody, and y'all even said it yourself, how Momo took the brunt of criticism and all of that shit. Like, won't nobody really checking for y'all like that. And now this is gonna bring ass and publicity to the show. So while y'all trying to blame it all on people, and don't get me wrong, people, if y'all really did that, that's fucked up, that's foul, and I'm glad they called y'all asses out. Period. Because I ain't even gonna lie, people. I'm looking at y'all sideways now. Now you've been credible about so many people. Why would y'all want to pull this with Chris and Momo? Which goes back to what I said earlier. You know what? Because I'm about to get like Monique. I won't shut the hell up. Me and Momo talk too much, girl. We never shut up. Anyway, child, that's it. That's all I got. I ain't got no more to give y'all. Y'all drop down in the comments. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts. Like I said, Monique and Chris debunked it. It's fake, it's phony, it's fugazi. Don't believe it, don't buy it. And people is no longer a credible source around here to give you the real tea because I live for the Samuels. So if they don't fuck with the people no more, fuck people and they fuck ass magazine. I think everything in there fake, phony, and foul and fugazi, much like this story that I really believe, you know what? Like I say, I'm gonna keep talking. Bad girl.